Hey everyone, this is Wei, and let's do another 2-minute drill, and this time I'm going to be using a slightly different shading technique, and I'm going to sketch the Mona Lisa. So let's get started and see how this goes. Alright, 2-minute Mona Lisa starting now. Just kind of try something a little bit different. I'm just going to try to wiggle my way through by wiggle, I mean by shading with these wiggly shapes. Because the drawing's actually, the painting is quite soft. So you don't want to hit it too hard. So I'm just going to keep going. Just let my hand kind of continue. Try not to stop. See how far I can get. I should be able to get the features in. Question is how close I can get to the likeness without measuring, which is kind of hard. So I'm just kind of eyeballing everything as I go. Okay, going down the nose, here, here, here. Keeping it soft. Just keep wiggling. And the lip, very small lip. Here, and then the lower lip. Alright, let's get some of the lines in here. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna keep shading like this. I don't want to hit it too hard. I want to try to keep it soft. So I can talk about the shading technique a little bit. A little bit darker. Probably don't have much time to go any darker. Alright, shading hair. Yeah. This is dark. I can do that. Go in, the eye socket, most important. Getting close. And I think that's about it. Okay. Alright, so it kind of looks like a kid's drawing in 2 minutes. Okay, so putting that aside, now let me finish this and see how far I can take it in a relatively short amount of time. So the whole shading process with just kind of these kind of wiggly shapes. I'm using a 6B, that way I can kind of keep things very soft. See if I can get some kind of cool effect with this. So I'm just going to shade. And I'm going to try to draw this with more shading than line work and see if I can bring it out. I mean, it's doable. It's just a matter of, I just want to do it quickly. So maybe add on, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, hopefully less, into this kind of drawing. So usually in 2 minutes, it seems like I'm able to get, some of the lightness and just kind of lay down the basic foundation. It's just a lot of fun drawing this way, because you kind of, it keeps you loose because, in 2 minutes, you're not going to get much out of it, right? So by limiting yourself, I actually feel it's very free, you actually feel like, I can mess it up. I can mess it up and it's okay. And that's the kind of attitude that you kind of need for sketching, especially for quick sketching. It's like just let yourself loose. And then, just hopefully things will come. And even if it doesn't look any good, the whole practice of, what you just gone through with your wrists, and it's really good. It'll give you some really good basic foundations. Just basically wrist skills. Being able to control, how light and dark you push into the paper. That's all. That's what drawing is. It's just being able to control those things and then know where to put it in and what. Yeah. So it's kind of like the whole package. It's never just one thing. I should probably talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so the wiggly shapes, alright, it's going in there. So now I'm kind of redefining the shapes a little bit, making it a little bit sharper. Chin, let's go this way. The hair and the veil. Very soft here. And I'm going to push in harder here because I want to get the silhouette, the outline of the face, the head. And I'm resisting to do like a hard line because I really don't want that. And the painting is quite soft, and you don't want a hard line there anyways. So right now my pencils are really chiseled, flat, and that's how I'm able to get very smooth shading, right? Because it's really flat and dull. And if I want a sharp edge, now just turn it a little bit. You gotta be careful because it's really sharp. And I can push in. That'll give me a nice sharp point, which I'll need for the eyeball, the pupil, the iris. I'm gonna hit this a little bit darker. This is a little bit darker. This is darker here. Just keep wiggling. So you do enough of these wiggly shapes, things will kind of even out a little bit, be very soft, and very good exercise for hand control. So this is very dark. This is dark here. Dark here underneath. Okay. This is darker. Dark here. Let's move down to the nose. So it does take a little bit longer, if you're going to shade like this, it's kind of wiggly shapes, as opposed to the hard, directional lines that you can put in there. But it's fun, it's like, see that the lip is nice and soft. You just kind of keep going. And this is a 6B, so it's not going to get much lighter unless I have really, really soft on it, which is kind of hard. And I can always switch to, like 2B or something. All right, so this is dark, so I'm gonna start wiggling here. Let's bring out this shape here. And then this is going out. All right, I'm just gonna do that. I don't want to fill in too much right here. Oh, it takes forever. And then the chin, which is important because the neck here, it will bring out the chin. And there's a little bit of reflective lighting on the chin. See right here. It's very important. So like this is dark here, right? And then this right here, there's a little bit of reflective lighting. Very important. It's one of those areas that you see a lot in any kind of portrait, because there's usually some kind of bounce lighting, and it hits onto the back end of the chin, and it really gives this whole this chin a lot of volume. Okay, so I'm seeing more now. This is darker. I'm gonna go darker. I'm going to push this a little bit darker. So the eyes I'm going to have to make a lot darker. So I'm going to, let's work on this a little bit. I'm trying not to get my hand over the picture. Okay. So you get the idea, you can try this kind of shading. It's actually very good practice. You don't have to do the whole thing this way, but in general, this is just another shading technique, as opposed to all the other stuff. And I think when on my other portrait drawings, you see, I shade this way too. It's just a combination of everything. And this is one way of getting nice smooth shading. I know I'm doing it all here, but in in your other drawings, you know, maybe certain areas you might need this kind of very detailed and soft shading, and then you can do this kind of wiggly shapes. So I'm kind of going overboard here, so just to show you what I mean. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you can see it takes a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer I've spent already. It's probably close to another 5 minutes. So I might push this a little bit more. It's kind of interesting off camera, and just to see, just to finish it up and soften it, see how it looks. Alright, so here is the final drawing of this Mona Lisa. It actually took me a while to do all these wiggly shapes just because, you know, it is a kind of a slow shading process, and I was trying to match it as much as possible, which is, you know, it's pretty time consuming because that face is actually obviously very complex. There's a lot of little subtle shading. And I think overall, yeah, the lightness, the nose needs to go over there. That's that a little bit more. And right now I'm just kind of working a little bit on the composition since I'm not going to shade everything. So just trying to make it a little bit more interesting. And I think that's about it for this drawing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and you know, do try these kind of shading techniques, and I will see you next time.